By the mid-1800s, the U.S. was deeply divided over the issue of slavery. The Southern economy depended on enslaved labor for its agriculture, while the North was moving away from it, seeing it as immoral. As new states were added to the Union, tensions grew over whether they would be slaveholding or free. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860 was the tipping point. Lincoln, opposed to the spread of slavery, represented a threat to Southern interests. In response, Southern states began seceding from the Union, forming the Confederate States of America in 1861. This set the stage for war. The first shots of the Civil War were fired at Fort Sumter in April 1861. Both sides believed the conflict would be quick, but they were wrong. Early battles, like the First Battle of Bull Run, showed that neither side was prepared for the long, brutal conflict ahead. The South had skilled generals like Robert E. Lee, while the North had the advantage of a larger population and industrial resources. Civilians actually picnicked near the battlefield of Bull Run, thinking the war would be a short spectacle, only to flee when the fighting turned chaotic and bloody. Two key events in 1863 dramatically shifted the war's momentum. The Union victory at the Battle of Gettysburg stopped Confederate advances into the North, marking a crucial turning point. Around the same time, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared enslaved people in Confederate-held territories free. While it didn't immediately end slavery, it transformed the war into a fight for human freedom. The Emancipation Proclamation didn't apply to border states or areas already under Union control. It was mainly intended to weaken the Confederacy's labor force. By 1864, Union General Ulysses S. Grant and General William Tecumseh Sherman adopted a strategy of total war. Sherman's famous march to the sea destroyed Confederate infrastructure and morale. In 1865, Robert E. Lee's forces were cornered, and he surrendered to Grant at Appomattox Courthouse, effectively ending the war. When Lee surrendered, Grant allowed Confederate soldiers to keep their horses and provided food rations, showing remarkable generosity to promote reconciliation. The Civil War left the U.S. scarred, with more than 600,000 dead. The period of Reconstruction that followed aimed to rebuild the South and integrate formerly enslaved people into society. Though it saw some progress, like the election of black politicians, much of it was undone in the following decades with the rise of segregation and Jim Crow laws. The American Civil War wasn't just a battle over territory, it was a battle over the soul of the nation. Its effects are still felt today, as the country continues to grapple with issues of race and equality. Thank you for watching, and check out my channel for more efficient history videos.